welcome back to Choosing Your Career with me, Nick, and Levi. Today we are joined by Tyra, and she is an aerialist in the circus. So if you've ever wondered what it's like flying through the air, this one's for you. Tyra, thank you so much for joining us today on Choosing Your Career. Can you please explain to us what an aerial artist is?
An aerial artist is a performer in circus, variety, or a freelancer that performs in the air. I come from a background of single trapeze, silks and Lyra.
How old were you when you got into aerial arts?
I started performing at the tender age of 6 years old, and my first solo performance I was 9.
How did you get into being an aerial artist?
My mum was a trapeze artist, and I kind of followed on in her footsteps.
Which apparatus is your favorite?
I would have to say the single trapeze. It's my first love, and it's the prop that I feel the most comfortable on.
Tyra, what type of personality is best suited to being an aerialist?
Well, one would think that it would be a daredevil, but you need to be a really safety conscious person. You also have to be, which might seem obvious, but comfortable working at height, and you need to be able to put in a lot of hard physical work, because being a trapeze artist, you need to make sure that you are not only fit enough to do your act, but to be able to get out of any situation that might arise.
So Tyra, with being an aerial artist, have you been able to travel very much?
I have been very fortunate. I was only able to go to a few European countries, but I spent a lot of time within them because the seasons lasted from 6 to 11 months. So we would be traveling throughout an entire country for the majority of the year.
And what countries have you visited?
Well, I performed on traditional circuses in South Africa, in Denmark, Latvia, Switzerland, Ireland, and I did a little bit in Germany, Sweden and Latvia.
Tyra, out of all the countries that you've been able to visit, which one was your favorite?
Ooh, that's a hard one. I'd have to say Switzerland because of its absolute beauty. It's even more beautiful than the postcards. But Ireland was a lot of fun.
And how did you make the transition between being a circus performer traveling the world to going back home and then doing this as a career but staying at home and raising a family?
I decided that I no longer wanted to tour on circuses, so I used freelancing as a way to continue performing, whether it be at festivals, casinos, corporate events, but it was on a contract basis.
Tyra, what are some of the pros and cons to being an aerialist?
The pros are keeping fit, traveling, doing exciting shows in exotic places, and we can be part of very spectacular events. Some of the cons, however, are injuries, having to get back into it, get fit again after taking time off, and also there's a certain amount of unpredictability, whether it be with contracts on circus or whether you are freelancing. You're always trying to ensure that you have another gig coming up.
Tyra, if somebody's never done anything like gymnastics or anything like that and they wanted to go down the road of becoming an aerial artist, how would they do that?
There are a few different pathways. Some circuses, they audition and you can start from scratch. They will help you to develop a routine which will then later transition into an act. One of the other pathways is visiting a circus school or even a pole gym or aerial fitness studio, where very often a lot of the studios are run by ex or current performers. Once you have established your acts and you know that they are performance ready, you need to market yourself. So depending on what your end goal is, if you're looking at performing in a touring capacity, it's important to get hold of agents that deal with touring circuses. And if you're wanting to stay local or within a more home-based environment, you'd look for agents that do freelancing and reach out. Make sure that you have good marketing material, your videos, photographs, and a CV.
And is this something that somebody could do just for fun? Is this a really good thing to do as an extramural activity, do you think?
Yes, I'm a firm believer that aerial arts is a really great way to get fit and keep fit. It's also very challenging mentally, not just physically. And we have a lot of students currently, I'm an aerial arts instructor, who come in just for fitness.
Tyra, do you have any fun or exciting stories that you can tell us about your travels and all the years that you were working on the circus?
I was warming up before my act and I was really cold. So I decided to get into a tracksuit and get under the covers. And the next minute, I woke up to the sound of my music playing and I wasn't in the tent.
Oh wow, so you had to run from your caravan into the show directly into your act.
Actually, it was too late. They scrapped my act that day.
Oh wow. Tyra, thank you so much for joining us today on Choosing Your Career and sharing your career with us.